a man, this is a tweet, and I saw a lot of these called out by the Libertarian Mises Caucus. We're calling these people out. This happened back in December, and so I'll tell you the tweet from WLOS. A man from Murphy, North Carolina, is now recovering in a Chattanooga hospital after SWAT team members were forced to shoot him after he confronted officers, according to the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. What I want you to do is imagine if that's all the information that we had. Like that was it. Okay, they were forced to, he confronted the officers, they were forced, the SWAT team was out there, he confronted them, they were forced to shoot him. They didn't want to do it, but they had to. But from what I can tell, he survived. You can go to the press release from the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. On Monday, December 12th, at approximately 11 p.m., Cherokee County 911 received a 911 call indicating a disturbance with several gunshots fired at this guy's address. Deputies were immediately dispatched and arrived on the scene. Deputies attempted to make contact with the alleged shooter, but were unsuccessful. Recognizing there was an armed suspect present and the potential for a hostage situation, they contacted the SWAT team. The shooter engaged in a verbal altercation with officers and emerged from a camper trailer and confronted officers. Members of the SWAT team fired upon the suspect and with him. The suspect was transported to Erlanger in Chattanooga. Bureau of Investigation called to investigate after consultation that they're actually going to be charging this guy. This is a day afterwards, charging the guy with communicating threats and resist, obstruct, and delay. The matter remains under investigation. This is a day after. And by the way, you'll see from the video.
They're going to charge the guy who got shot.
The guy who got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only did you just get shot,
mm-hmm.
we're going to charge you with a crime and put you in prison.
The guy had a camera in the corner of his camper trailer. And so that's good for him anyway. You can see flashlights outside the door. They send in a little robot camera thing. And before we go through this, I guess what would say for the police officers, there's no excuse for any of the lying or what they're going to do later on. But you show up to a scene, someone's called, said there's been multiple gunshots, there's an armed suspect. They don't know. They say they don't know if there's a hostage situation or what's going on, so they just throw this little camera robot thing into the camper trailer. The SWAT team doesn't know that this has been a fake 911 call, someone's getting swatted or whatever it is. They don't know that. They're showing up thinking someone just got shot a bunch and there's an armed person there. So I do have to say that I understand that part of it, right? Now the rest of it, and that's Tom brought up Tim Pool. When people get swatted, it's dangerous to get swatted. The guy lives, but he's lucky.
Some people haven't.
Yes. And so it is
this is a cruel...
It's like attempted murder to swat someone, honestly.
This started like in the video game community, right? This cruel swatting game
I have no clue.
These kids play, eat Tide Pods and swat their friends.
Oh, kids these days,
It's crazy.
We never swatted our friends back when we were kids.
No.
Never
do
We didn't do that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have our Tide wrapped up in these neat little pods or anything.
Mm-mm. We just drank out of the bottle.
I know. Kids, they're so spoiled.
They are.
All right, we could have had some, and you see the little robots looking around.
What's going on? Hello? 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 What is going on?
So they just woke up out of a... All right, so the thing's rolling around on the floor, and the guy picks it up. He's probably like, "Hey, I got your. This is what you guys needed. It's in here. I found it."
Yeah. I think he lit a cigarette. First
Yeah,
time
he did.
Woke up out of a dead sleep.
Lit a cigarette.
Right there.
Woo! That's bad.
This is your assault Roomba.
I got your stuff.
That was really
it's
good.
over here. No,
that was good, Gus.
It looked like they woke up out of a dead sleep. And now, hey, I take Ambien every night. I got no clue They could be out there with their big floodlights on the house. There could be the FBI hostage negotiation team out there. And I just wake
Chris
up. And
Voss himself could be there.
What's happening, guys? How's it going?
Is this an alien abduction? What's
how's
happening?
it going? All right, we'll go through.
Then you tell me about a really vivid dream you had.
Yeah.
What did you? I'm shot. What the hell? I'm shot. He's shot. What the hell did you do? Oh, fuck. I can't.
Still holding a cigarette,
sorry.
though.
That's not funny. Like, I can't imagine how terrifying that is.
Yes,
But
it's got to be so.
the guy walks out the door with his hands up.
Yeah.
They shoot him. He falls back into his camper, and they're like, "Come out with your hands up." He's like, "I already came out with my hands up." Oh, gosh. It's ridiculous.
I didn't have a gun. I didn't have a gun. Got it clear. I didn't have a gun. I didn't have one. I had to remove
Turkey police, am I here now? Yourself. Turkey police, am I here now? Yourself.
Please, you have your message.
Yes, they're on their way.
You shot me right.
Where are you here at?
Take my chest.
Okay, the ambulance is on its way.
I have no gun.
Hey, master, hold on. Pull him and start working on him.
Yeah, start working on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, here's the next important part. They walk in after the guy's been drug out,
Drug out.
and they're working on him. And now these guys come back in to check the place out.
Fuck. Hey, bro, fuck.
Hey, cameras.
They walk in, the guy goes,
That's hard to watch.
"F, there's a camera."
Mhm.
He goes, "F, bro, there's a camera." Why would they be worried about that, you think?
Because then it wouldn't line up with the story they were going to tell to
Now-
excuse the shooting.
What's weird to me is, so this is night of, clearly December 12th when this happens. Of course, it's late. It's almost December 13th at this time. And so when you look at the release, it just says December 13th. So I don't know when exactly it came out. But I'll read to you once again. They responded to that call. Deputies attempted to make contact, but were unsuccessful. Recognizing there was an armed suspect present and the potential for a hostage situation, they called the SWAT team. The suspected shooter engaged in a verbal altercation with the officers and emerged from a camper trailer and confronted the officers.
Doesn't look like he did that at all.
No.
He just said, "What's going on?"
He walked out of the door.
Now is that a verbal altercation? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I got your salt Roomba right here. And he confronted the officers. By confronting, what that means is they asked him to come out with his hands up, and he confronted them with his hands up.
Yeah.
They were confronted by him by a guy that had his hands up, and they shot him, and that was it. It all took like 2 seconds. From the time he opened the door and walked out there like this,
they
were
fired
shooting
several more shots
lot.
inside. You could see it hitting the curtains.
Mhm. I mean, the girl's lucky she didn't get hit.
Right.
Also,
Right.
they're lucky she didn't get hit when she walked back out with her hands up too, because apparently that's not good. The thing that is troublesome about this, we have not. I feel like we've always been very fair to police. We always are, because I realize that a lot of times these things about the police can also be made up, and the narrative goes one way.
And situations like
fake.
this can go sideways. If it was a real armed suspect with a hostage, whatever, like those things, like there are police officers who have been shot and died. It can be bad.
How about this? We asked the guy to come outside. Here's a press release. We asked the guy to come outside with his hands up. He came out, and we saw something black in his hands. Before we realized it was the assault Roomba, we thought that it was a gun, and we did shoot him, hitting the alleged suspect once. We gave him emergency medical treatment, and he is recovering at Erlanger in Chattanooga, and everything's going to be okay. It turns out that it was a fake call in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, there is another option for a press release from them.
To be honest and transparent.
How the heck did this line up with the first part so well? Isn't that weird?
It's weird.
Huh. That's the frustrating part to me. And what's scary about this is if there wasn't a camera in the guy's house,
this guy would be going to jail after he gets out of the hospital.
They still charged him after they realized there were cameras too. That's the scary part. It took time to do this. The guy's recovering. They knew that night that there were cameras, and they charged him. You know why? As a negotiating tactic so they don't get sued. I guarantee you. And so he doesn't sue them. So they can say, okay, we'll drop the charges if everything's good here.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's going to happen.
They're still going to get sued.
There's
a lawyer on this case already.
Like you said, like you can't, I don't entirely, listen, these guys, they're on a SWAT team somewhere in North Carolina. They probably don't get a lot of work.
But look what he was charged with. Communicating threats and resist. Obstruct and delay.
Because he didn't wake up?
He's dead asleep. Well, I mean, he lit a cigarette. I guess he didn't have to do that. That was delay.
Well, that was an assault cigarette anyway.
Yeah, he was
That's what they noticed. It was a deadly weapon then.
Did you notice he didn't lose a cigarette the whole time? Dude gets shot.
Nicotine's a hell of a drug.
Gets shot. His cigarette goes from his mouth to his hand, and he doesn't lose
I didn't notice that. Hold on.
Go back.
I got to see that.
He's laying down on the ground. Even as he starts to crawl out, his cigarette's still in there. Are you kidding me? I'm not joking.
Okay, fine. He's got the cig in his hand. Is it a cig sour?
Turn the volume down.
I got it down. All right. Got the cig on him. Something bit me.
Still in his hand. Watch, roll him over.
Still got it. He still got it. He's still got the cig.
Watch when he crawls out. He still got it.
Wow.
That is some cig control. Watch as he crawls out. He's still in there.
Maybe he was just like stuck to him or something. Drop the
cigarette. Now he drops
the cigarette.
Now he dropped it. All the way to crawling out the door.
I hate that. I mean, we make light of every situation.
I know.
But he didn't really
he
yell
didn't know
something
he was going to need that
me.
cigarette. I mean,
you know?
Yeah. I think if I thought I might be dying, like, give me a cigarette.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, it ain't going to kill me now. I'm already dying.
So the thing is, you can't really just blindly trust people with power, and whether they're the president or they're your local SWAT team.
Yeah.
I know you go by the local SWAT team chili supper, and they all seem like a bunch of nice guys, you know, and you donate your money and all that. But as I was saying earlier, the thing with cops is we always see like all the exciting stuff. A bunch of it is, you know, writing reports and just waiting. Honestly, getting super frustrated all the time, I'm sure, at all these a-holes that eventually you just want to really lay into them, you know. And I bet a bunch of these guys, like, they're just so freaking wound up that as soon as they're like, they see anything in the dude's hand or whatever it is, could be a shadow that bounced from their lights off of the trailer or something like that. You know, they're just so ready to pull the trigger.
And you see, like, as a society, we've deviated so far from truth that it's not like all these cops are complicit in the lie.
They are,
because they know what happened. And you'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna corroborate that because that's not what happened.
That's the thing.
Like, you know, like this whole rule that Jordan Peterson has in his 12 rules for life, like, tell the truth or at least don't lie. You know, like, there's lies by omission. You know, when you're part of something like this, and it's like, as a society, we've just deviated so far from telling the truth. There's no truth. There's no transparency. There's no trust. Like all of that leads to where we are now. I think, Jordan Peterson talks about how Solzhenitsyn put it, that the whole entire, scheme of communism in Russia, the USSR, all boiled down to a lie that everyone went along with.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with not Nazis, the Nazis in Germany. It's all built on a lie.
It's people reading the White House's tweets and not calling them out all the time. That's what it is. And what bothers, if you're a back to blue person listening right now, we can make the argument for why this shooting can accidentally happen. And you could say, don't walk out of the thing with a giant black metal object in your hand, and a cigarette in the other. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm not saying it should have happened. I'm just saying you could explain away the fact that they shot at the guy and say, okay, well, clearly hindsight, that doesn't make any sense,
it's
but
like
I get it.
It's like police training is like shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Which is insane.
Like, in no way, I mean, even if you're in a SWAT team, you got vests on, you got all this stuff going on, even if you did have a gun right here, I mean, there's a lot of movement that's got to happen before this dude could accurately do anything with the gun. They're so quick to put you down, so there's minimal to no risk to them whatsoever. It's worth shoot first and ask later to make sure there's minimal to no risk to them in that moment. I was saying you could make an excuse for why someone messed up and shot him, but you cannot excuse the lying afterwards and the, oh, F, bro, there's cameras. Like, they knew.
And then charging the guy with a crime.
Charging him with a crime afterwards.
That is disgusting.
And the only reason that the dude's going to be able to get off and sue them and all that is going to be because he had a camera up in his house. Like, is that what we got to do? We got to put up a camera in all of our houses just in case you get startled in the middle of the night by a SWAT team that shoots you because you put your hands up? Is that what we need? Cop friends? Is that what you suggest? Put a camera up there so when the cops lie about why they shot you, that you can actually get away with doing nothing wrong after you got shot by them? Is that what we should do?
I mean, I think you should.
Yeah. You can't defend yourself, but if someone comes in there and you put your hands up and they shoot you, I guess the only thing you can have is hopefully they missed anything vital and you had a camera up to show that you didn't do anything wrong. That's it.
It's crazy.
All right, let's go home.
This is and this kind of stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop, and it's absolutely abhorrent. And I don't think this guy's going to be living in a camper much longer.
No,
I think he's going to be able to afford a pretty decent house.
Yep.
And I think he's, I hope he recovers fully and is okay and can go back to smoking his cigs and living the American dream is my hope. And I hope every single one of these officers get fired and charged with some kind of crime.
And whoever it is that wrote up the press release or wrote,
notice how the government investigated itself?
Yeah.
Not only did they not find any wrongdoing with themselves, they then blamed the actual victim in this case.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The local news media, by the way, also, they wrote up articles about it. Now, their articles were based off of the police, their press release. And so in a local news station, like, what are you going to do? Whether base your article off of the police's press release?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that. They changed the article saying that it looks like everything was different, but they did leave up the original tweet where it said the police were forced to shoot the guy because he was confronting them with his hands up. That post is still up right now. Just screenshotted it today.
It looks like this happened around Cherokee, North Carolina, Tom. So
they took him to Erlanger in Chattanooga, so I guess he was airlifted there, I would assume.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Have to be coming from North Carolina.
Isn't Cherokee on the other side of Gatlinburg?
I'm not sure.
Tennessee, not near Chattanooga? I don't know. But anyway, all right, y'all, if you enjoyed today's episode, please share the show with a friend, a family member, and a foe. Share it with your local police department. Let them know that this kind of shit is not okay, and you won't stand for it. Get yourself one of them cameras. Put it there in your house. Make sure you're protected.